Thank you very much. I am Lee D-Man Smith, and I'm gratefully, I don't know what the word is there, but I am happy to be joined by Martin Deficio Lunga. I'm going to get your surname right one of these days. It's getting
almost,
there.
Almost.
Yeah, I can't get quite the guttural Danish that you have in what goes on. But nevertheless, we do have some Danes coming up because it is the Copenhagen Wolves up against SK Gaming. And coming into this match, the Copenhagen Wolves, well, they had a great performance in day one, of course, beating out Alliance. And they actually ended up with a 49-39 KDA at the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, Copenhagen Wolves came into me also as one of the, I wouldn't call them a favorite, but it's definitely of the qualified teams, the one I had the most upside for. And I think Copenhagen Wolves will keep showing also today and also later in the season that they are a team that deserves to be here, and they are a very strong team overall.
Yeah, and they've had both sides of it because, of course, they did lose to Gambit yesterday, but that seems something like a lot of teams tend to get used to because it didn't work out so well for them. But we want to talk about that man, the nearest on the screen there. It is Youngbuck, and he seems to have grown so much coming into this LCS.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Youngbuck. We've always known he loved to play tanks. This meta is for him. We saw him play Shyvana twice yesterday, and actually with quite success. Versus Alliance, he managed to do a lot. He had a lot of pressure in the team fights compared to Wicked on Renekton. Now, versus Gambit, he also actually did a fairly good job. He laned against Darien on his Warwick, and he actually managed to take down the turret. So for him, even though he lost the game, mainly due to the mid lane maybe not doing too well, but he actually generally did very good, and I've been impressed by Shyvana.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing, because we've had some disagreement of how well Warwick is doing for Darien, but we just heard Diamond saying it is very good, and he seems to be working very well for him, despite the fact you don't agree with it.
I agree now. But not because of you, because of Darien.
Okay. Let's also talk about Amazing, because in the jungle, the man that replaced Chuck has done fantastic. And you can see up against Alliance, he had some great stats once again.
Great stats versus Alliance. He was 409. That is perfect stats for a jungler. At the same time, he managed to follow Shook around, and he managed to help Youngbuck in the top lane snowball and get very strong. But versus Gambit, they did a very smart thing. They banned out his Elise, and they took away Lee Sin. This is Amazing's two best early game junglers. They were gone. He had to go for an Olaf, and he couldn't really follow Diamond around because Diamond was Lee Sin, was way more mobile.
And of course, they are up against SK Gaming, and for them, they're coming into this one at 0-2. They hung on for dear life against Millennium. It was a 51-minute game, but unfortunately for them, it ended in defeat. But they did delay the game very well.
They did delay the game. They didn't really have a choice after the way the early mid-game went for them. So kudos to actually them being able to delay the game. They got into the point where they could actually start doing fairly well in team fights. They actually went 2 for 1 in a few. But it was never really enough for them to get back in the game, and they were never really close at winning it.
And where do we see the bonuses coming from SK Gaming? Because, of course, they've got Candy Panda in there. They've got Enrated in there. These are big, experienced players. But for them, they've also alongside the likes of Svenskeren. Svenskeren was in a team with you, of course, but before back in the spring split it was. Where do these players have to pull their experience from? The fact that they are 0-2 coming into this.
I think SK needs to rely a lot on Svenskeren. They need to rely on him getting some early game junglers where he can try and snowball. They had Lee Sin for him yesterday in one of the games. It didn't work out too well, but we shouldn't take too much from that yet. For me, Svenskeren needs to get an early game jungler, put a lot of pressure on the bot lane, get Candy Panda fed, get him going, and try and let him carry the games.
Well, we'll see how that works out for them. Of course, the current lineup of the Copenhagen Wolves have certainly learned the meaning of the word determination. While they dominated the challenger scene, the journey to the LCS for these players has been a very long one, especially for the top laner, Youngbuck.
I was more nervous than any other tournament I've ever been in because this was a now or never moment for me.
All of these members were hungry to just show, hey, we can get into the LCS.
We were the strongest amateur team, at least on paper.
We expected to play MYM.
We were expecting to beat no matter what team we actually faced there.
Forgiven so low, he tries to flash away but gets caught out by the bullet of Makler, and that is surely the triple kill and the ace for Meet Your Makers.
And with the inhibitor already down, this is going to be the game 1 victory for MYM, D-Man.
When we lost the game, we knew that it was our mistakes and not their strengths. Therefore, we knew we could take it back, and I never doubt that we would lose to them just because of that first game.
That will be the game, ladies and gentlemen. The Copenhagen Wolves have managed to bite back on Meet Your Makers. That is a triple kill for Kauton, and of course it is going to be the Copenhagen Wolves that will finally close out the game. and the Copenhagen Wolves, they can push through and finish.
5 men together, 25 minutes, 3 wins, LCS.
So it was great to see players that have tried multiple times finally making it to the LCS.
This was my third time qualifying. I failed the first two, getting very close in the last rounds every time, but this time I hit it.
I'm happy that Copenhagen Wolves qualified, especially Youngberg, because he's been trying so many times, and then finally he is in and he followed his dream.
I think the team would have been kind of devastated. Maybe someone leaves, maybe the team disbands. I don't know what would have happened if we lost.
This was really the team that I wanted to qualify with the most, and it's the best team I've been with.
They've taken a little bit of a beating in terms of losing two very, very good players, but I think we can see the guys that they've brought in there amazing and forgiven. Like, these two guys have stepped it up already. We saw that at promotion, we saw that at Intel Extreme Masters Cologne.
Amazing is extraordinary at communicating, and that's something he has over Shook. Shook is probably a little bit better mechanically or timing-wise, but Amazing's communication is really something that gives him an edge over him.
I don't even put thoughts into Shook and what he presented for the lineup and what he did for the lineup. I just know what I have to do, and that's the only pressure that I have.
I didn't feel any responsibility just to replace Reckless because we are all the same level. I think I'm just 5 or 6 years older.
We're a real group of friends, and we've been together for a long time, especially the core of the group. We've been through a lot, and good and bad times, and we laugh a lot, and we feel like a family. Yeah, we're very excited to play in the big stage now. We've done very good in the challenger scene, and now we want to see how good we can do in the big league.
We will see how well they do in the big league, because so far they've done pretty impressive in day one. Let's see how day two works out for them. So let's check out those starting lineups. On the blue side, it is going to be the Copenhagen Wolves, of course. In that top lane is Youngbuck, who you just saw in that video. Amazing in the jungle, the Shockcaller, Kautard, the mid laner, Forgiven, the new AD carry, and Unlimited, the support alongside him.
And on the red side is SK Gaming with Freddy in the top lane, Svensson is in the jungle, we have Jesus in the mid lane, Candy Panda as the AD carry, and N-Rated as the support.
So the game is going to get underway in a moment, and we want to see what champs are going to come out. We've seen some pretty unique champions over the last few days. I said the last few days, the last 9 games we've already had. We're into game 10 of the Super Week. It starts to roll into one once the hours start bleeding into each other. But what are we expecting here from the Wolves and from SK Gaming?
Now, both teams want early game junglers. We have Elise Lee Sin as probably the two most contested ones, and then obviously we have the Evelyn already banned away now against Svensson actually in every game so far.
So that is the first ban. Are we going to see the standards, the Kassadin, the Kayle? There goes the Kayle immediately. Of course, Kautard used that to good effect yesterday. Riven taken away from Jezis. Kassadin, well, it's pretty standard stuff so far.
Again, Riven banned out versus Jezis. It's one of his go-to champions, and people like to get him out of his comfort zone. We saw him play Ahri last game. It's not exactly the best pick right now, and it was actually a very smart move by Fnatic, forcing him onto something he probably isn't playing too much right now.
Dr. Mundo taken away. This does mean that so far, Yasuo, who though has sneaking through a couple of times, hasn't been picked so far, despite the fact they were baiting, I believe, Trevor and Joe into it, but it didn't happen. Elise taken away. Shyvana, Renekton available. Elise also has just been banned out. That means Annie could be the first pick.
This means SK Gaming now can possibly pick up Lee Sin and maybe get a little bit of an advantage early game. This is actually what Gambit also had versus Copenhagen was last time, where Elise was banned, then they took the Lee Sin. Shyvana also coming in now. Freddy loves to play Shyvana, and he's very good on it, and to take it away from Youngbuck, so we have to see something new now.
Well, in the game earlier on against Fnatic, they locked in Renekton and Shyvana straight away. This time around, Svensson has not been drawn into that, it seems. Like you say, Freddy could be taken out for the top lane.
I definitely think it's Shyvana top, unless they want to also take the Renekton away from Youngbuck, but I don't think they worry too much about Renekton right now, especially with the Shyvana. I would prefer, at least, or I actually think they would prefer to get either a jungler or maybe one of the AD carries.
Well, it is maybe going to be Thresh for N-Rated. N-Rated really wants to prove something since getting back into a team in the LCS. Of course, he played in the spring and then obviously was stepped aside in Fnatic. Yellowstar taking his place, who is doing fantastic so far for Fnatic in this summer season. But don't forget, he joined Evil Genius as an analysis. He was at the World Championships with Lemon Dogs as an analysis, and now, of course, back as a player. We'll see how it works out for him. But right now, it is going to be Thresh and Shyvana being locked in, so standard start for SK.
Very standard for SK, very standard for Copenhagen Wolves. Interesting enough, now Copenhagen Wolves, I keep talking about this Lee Sin. I know I mention it again and again, but they told me after the game versus Gambit how they felt they lacked the early game pressure of maybe a Lee Sin. So we will see. They pick up Renekton though. I think it's more also to see what SK picks and maybe they want to try and counter it.
Well, Renekton top lane, Ziggs in the middle. Ziggs a champion you are delighted to see coming into the meta, I believe.
Well, 6 means now that we can have a very long game. If Copenhagen Wolves falls behind, they can just rely on 6 wave clearing and wave clearing and wave clearing and delaying the game. It's almost like the old Nivea. So overall, I think it's a good pickup. They take it away from Jesus, and again now, he pretty much only has Gragas left. Or maybe an Orianna actually.
Candy Panda locking in Ezreal, and it's a champion we've seen on Creaton for all 3 of Millennium's games. 2 of Millennium games so far. There is the Lee Sin Svenskeren wants. That's the champion he was looking for.
And it didn't come as early as I expected, but we have it in now. I like to see Svenskeren on Lee Sin. I want to see him make some big plays early, and I especially want to see him going bot lane. He now has a lantern he can even take from Enrated, and then try and set up a few kills, maybe get Candy Panda rolling, and let's see what he can do in the Ezreal.
Final choices for the Copenhagen Wolves. They've already picked their mid laner, so no surprise there. Will we see a Jinx? Will we see a Lucian? What are they going to go with for that AD carry? And more importantly, what will they go in the jungle? What is amazing looking towards the fact that he hasn't got a lease?
Now, he played Olaf yesterday. Oh, Vi. It's a great pickup now, right? Good all around the game. Good versus Lee Sin early game. Can actually duel him as well in the early skirmishes. And once he hit the level 6, he can lock down the target. Ezreal is really hard to get to. He has his E, he has his flash. With Vi, you can instantly lock him down. Renekton can come in, or any can come in and then stun him, and then can try and kill him.
So, Lucian being locked in there. What do we make of Lucian? We just heard Reckless in the interview, of course, talking about how Lucian got nerfed about two patches ago, back in 3.14 or 3.13, I'm not sure which one it was. Yet people continue to use him. Obviously, he's got high mobility. Is that really the only key?
Lucian is just an overall safe pick. Like, throughout the entire game, he's safe and he's strong. He has a good laning phase. Even after the nerf, he's still very strong in the lane. His level 6 is somewhat decent. It is not the best for all in, but he's still very strong. And then he scales really well also into the late game. He has, as you talked about, his mobility. He's very hard to get to. So overall, Lucian is just like, he's just a very safe pick and he's just good all around.
Well, the final pick, of course, was Nidalee. You saw it again and locked in there. So this time, Jez is playing very safe with those spears. Long-range battle in that mid.
Long-range battle, but Jesus is going to have a hard time versus 6. 6 can pressure him down to his turret pretty much from the start, and he's going to have a lot more damage to pull out on Jesus. I feel a little bit for Jesus, unless he gets help from Svenskeren, though.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. So what are we seeing from these two teams? They have been locked in. Of course, Copenhagen Wolves 1 apiece at the moment. They're 1 win, 1 loss. SK Gaming coming into the 0-2, and I hate to draw on it, Deficio, but you know yourself, you've been in this situation at the start of a season where games start stacking against you. How do they pull themselves out of this rut?
The thing is, you just have to look at the small things when the games start. If you get the combo you want, this is like a small victory, you get more confident, you say, yeah, now we have what we want, let's show them. Then when you get into the game, if you manage to get first blood or if you get a good start in the lanes, it gives you also that small confidence boost. So it's all about now for SK, just look at the small things and then use them, and in the end when they actually pull out a win, they will start really feeling, okay, we can do this now. We saw actually ourselves doing it in the first split where we beat, I think it was Giants, and then the next game all of a sudden we beat Fnatic.
Yes, you've got to bounce back. We'll see if it works out for SK Gaming. Of course, let's check out what you guys at home thought. So, 68% of you have voted for the Copenhagen Wolves. No surprise, honestly, coming into this one. They have got a win under their belt against the Lions.
Yeah, really no surprise. Copenhagen Wolves has been looking very strong. SK kind of shaky. But for me, this is a game for SK where they can actually try and bounce back. I'm not too fond of the Nidalee pick versus 6, but overall, I'm looking forward to see what they can bring.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Copenhagen Wolves starting out as the blue team, and we've seen SK Gaming counter-picking, or has it worked as the red team? At the moment, we haven't seen too much aggression with level 1, but we were thinking potentially coming into this game, SK might try something.
Yeah, SK is in the point right now where they don't really have too much to lose. They're chasing the first victory. A level 1 tactic from Enrated, we've talked about it yesterday as well, how good he is at making these level 1 tactics. And now, you don't really have any wards before 130, so you can actually go in, 3 or 4 people, and try maybe force an early kill.
Well, it is a standard start in terms of item builds. You can see, the spear catching on Kaltard opening up there. Bit of a misplay by him, could have done with sidestepping. Hasn't backed away from this one, so he's going to stick around, just let the natural regen there. But what I wanted to talk about were these Doran Shield starts that we've been seeing non-stop throughout the weekend.
Doran Shield is simply just great combat stats from the start of the game. The only real option for supports right now, if they want to go for the early fights or want to be more safe, is the Relic Shield. But you get slightly less HP regen compared to the Doran Shield.
Shows how punch drunk I am, because it is just a Wednesday, not a weekend day. I'm just used to it being weekends right now, but it is going to have to take a little bit of getting used to not being on the standard Saturday and Sunday, of course. Super Week means we are Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course tomorrow, Thursday, 5 more games. But right now, it is all about the Wolves and SK, and the wards are going down.
Now, another thing about the SK combo they have right here is, if they actually fall behind, they don't really have too much wave clear. And versus a 6 and a Lucian, who are really good at dealing both tower damage and also generally sieging, it can become a real big problem, and they will rely on Jessis landing some good spears.
Well, we do see Candy Panda landing a shot on towards Unlimited there, but it will be a blue buff start out for Amazing, a red buff start out for Svenska, and he's going to pick that one up. Damian down the bottom, stun is being held by Unlimited. We'll see how these early trades goes. Candy Panda they're going to go down on. Quick Flay comes straight out, and that's a pretty close trade, but it's SK again that came out for worse.
Candy Panda managed to land a great Q in the end, and therefore pulled him on the same level of HP as Forgiven. Right now, though, a lot of pressure coming out early, and the Copenhagen Wolves, they are known to be very aggressive early in the bot lane.
Well, as it is right now, we do see them continuing to push forward. It's all about hitting level 2 first. Who will make it? And, of course, the aggression that we see from them, we do see again. Unlimited trying to build up that stun, but he takes a lot of damage straight back from it.
One more minion for Copenhagen Wolves should do it. I expect them to go instantly as they kill the first melee minion right here. Oh, never mind. They actually don't get level 2. And now they did.
Now they do. It's Copenhagen Wolves that got the stun to start with. Sorry, the level 2, but they didn't have the stun available. We did just see Forgiven going aggressive just as we cut away, just catching our camera gun on the hop.
And that's what I absolutely love about Forgiven's playstyle. He's so aggressive. He wants to get kills in the lane. He's not happy just farming. He wants to punish the enemy.
So let's look at this mid lane. We can see Ziggs versus Nidalee. Of course, Jez is up against Kautard. It's a lane phase that could take a while to get going, because both these are going to be still in maximum range, which actually kind of leads into Jez's play with the Nidalee spears.
Sure, there's an advantage in that way for Jessis, but if we see already right now, Kautard is pushing the wave up to the turret. Youngbuck is doing the same. He has the advantage with Renekton early game. Svenska coming up, though, can potentially get a gank going.
Well, we'll see where the Young Buck's already heading away. His spider sense is maybe tingling, but not enough. Sven Skaren is ready and waiting to pull the trigger, and Young Buck just trying to get baited into us one. They're going to go for it. This would work very well in for Shyvana's favor. He's going to slice, dice, flash. It's not going to be enough. Sven Skaren comes in, and it's actually first blood for Freddy with the Ignite.
The Ignite picks it. Beautiful play by Svensson. We just talked about it in Champions League. We need SK Gaming to get rolling early game. We need Svensson to get rolling early game. Perfect start for him and perfect start for Freddy.
And how does that play into the whole 1v1 top lane? Because it's always Renekton stronger at the start, but now he's got a kill. That's going to give him that advantage in the top. Meanwhile, down the bottom end, Raider's going to get focused on. Not going to be enough. Turns it back around with a hook of his own. Tries to put the Flay out. The Flay not successful. And Unlimited just stands his ground and burns his face off.
The Annie damage is too much for SK to deal with at this point. N-rated, he landed hook on Annie, but he didn't really have any follow-up with it. Go back to the top lane. Freddy getting the early advantage over Renekton is huge for him. It means he will not have the first few levels, where he, or first, let's say up to level 9, where he gets pressured into his turret and he might possibly be dived. Great start for SK and great start again, as I said, for Freddy. He can now keep his lane even.
Jez is having to use the flash there as Amazing came around the backside of him, almost caught him off there, but that's a flash burn. That's a successful gank.
And look at the CS already in the mid lane. Huge advantage for Kautard. He keeps pushing him into the turret, and he will keep doing this again and again and again.
Well, as it stands, we do have the jungler coming down. Sven Skaren was there, but the death sentence did not land on Forgiven. Just quickly dashes away.
SK really coming here to play, though. Kudos for this. Svensson has already tried his second gank. First one was a success. Second one, not too much.
We'll see whether he keeps the momentum going as Amazing comes down the bottom. Sven Skaren's going to walk straight in. He's going to face check in towards him. This is going to be a jungle fight. I'm not too sure it's going to turn it out, because meanwhile the AD carries fighting off the side. Quick safeguard from Sven Skaren, comes leaping across and escapes the danger from Amazing.
The Copenhagen Wolves bot lane forces Svensson to go back. He cannot fight this alone. Right now, Unlimited and Forgiven has all the pressure in the lane, and they have the kill potential.
Sven Skaren backs away from that one, as does Amazing. So both going off and getting their farm going. This bottom lane certainly is one of the most tense we've seen for a while here, because the danger between them is pretty high, because just look at SK Gaming. They're low on health, low on mana. Meanwhile, Copenhagen Wolves, they seem to be in control, and this is what Copenhagen Wolves do well. Unlimited and Forgiven have formed a very good partnership at such a short phase.
They are an amazing bot lane together because they think alike, they have the same ideas for what to do in lane, and they both love to be very aggressive. The Anion Unlimited is probably his favorite support, especially because when he hits level 6, he's just gonna instant go.
Well, Kautar's hit level 6. We'll see whether he starts heading towards that top. Of course, that Mega Inferno bomb that he can throw out has a big range on it, so if he starts stepping out in the lane, it's a possibility that he will be going for a kill instead. Svenskeren will clear out that ping ward in the mid lane. Jesus returns with the Chalice. He wants that blue buff, but not going to get a lot of help with it at the moment because he's not for another minute.
Now, both Svenskeren and Freddy has picked up early Doran's Blades. They want to fight. And when the first Dragon fight comes, and if they are there, I actually expect SK to have the advantage.
Well, we'll see how that fight rattles around, because Svenskeren's coming to join this time. There is a ward in the bush, so he's going to have his presence known this time. Youngbook's not going to get caught out this time around. We'll clear out the minions and keep on pushing. No farming between towers this time between these two, though. I think, like you say, they want to fight.
They want to fight, but at the same time, Youngbook, Riftrenect has advantage. Svenskeren is coming for the gank again.
Is he going to make it in time? Because Amazing is going to be joining the fray in a moment. Youngbook's just going to stick this one out. Pops that Dominus, keeps the life still going. Ignite on towards Freddy. Has he got enough damage down? Gets the stun on Svenskeren. Yes, he does. Mega Inferno bomb comes in. Doesn't quite find his target, but it's a kill for Amazing.
Youngbook is a beast. He gets it. Enrated might go down here.
Enrated in trouble. Throws out the death sentence, but he's just pulled Forgiven into him. And Forgiven says, thank you very much. I'll take the kill.
And this was just a matter of time. They've stayed bot lane for so long and they were so low. In the end now, great stun from Unlimited, and they punish Enrated instantly. We actually saw Enrated do somewhat the same thing versus Fnatic a few games ago, or sorry, in the last game of SK, where again he got punished and he died early in the lane.
Well, they are taking full advantage because they've left a tower beaten on those minions. That's going to be farm that Freddy will not be picking up. They also stole away the red buff as well from Svenskeren, so taking all the advantages from Svenskeren, simply trying to be aggressive in the top.
And due to the great play from Youngbook top lane, he is back now. He's in the driving seat. At least for the next few minutes, he will dominate the top lane. He will pressure Freddy down. This can potentially mean Amazing can come up and force a kill and then force a tower.
So, both mid laners have picked up the blue buff. We'll see how that balances between them. We haven't seen a great deal of aggression. Obviously, Mega Inferno Bomb was thrown out, but it didn't find its home. It is actually Kautar that is starting to surge ahead in terms of farm between these two.
Now, Kautar has just been purely focusing on pushing the wave into the tower and make Jesus lose CS. He has the CS advantage now, and he will keep extending that because he's going to be stronger and stronger in these 1v1s.
Looking in this bottom lane, we do see Candy Panda now going for that Trinity Force. Meanwhile, Forgiven actually switching it up, going for that Bloodthirster early on. Wards being placed in the Tribush. Amazing going to be taking the second red buff of the game, and I'm wondering whether he's going to pay a visit towards his bottom lane.
He could potentially go bot. There is no ward. Obviously, they don't have a ping from Copenhagen Wolves, so they don't know if the bush is warded, but he can go down there. There is no flash on Enrated for at least about a minute. He could potentially pick up a new kill.
Well, we will see where junglers were going, and he is Amazing sticking around. Svenskeren's only at the mid lane, and he's actually just been spotted out, I think. No, that was a ping from SK Gaming, so they have no idea that he's there. Vision in the Tribush, though, will give Amazing's position away, which is why SK Gaming are going to step away.
And you see Svenskeren moving down instantly. He's ready if the gank should happen. It seems though Amazing just wants to go in, get a slightly deep ward, get a bit more vision in the SK jungle.
Amazing finds the pink ward out there. That may well cause some problems. He surely realizes he stood on that. He's actually going to take a spear. Now he realizes it. Oh, the Q from Svenskeren, the kick not quite landing.
A thing to notice though, and a bad thing for SK right now, is the fact that Forgiven could afford a BF sword on his first back, which makes him a lot stronger than Candy Panda at this point. So even if Svenskeren should come down for a gank, it might actually backfire, and Copenhagen Wolves can maybe even win it 2v3.
Well, the culling being used to quickly wipe that wave out and force SK Gaming up against that turret, but it does mean that Svenskeren has been called into duty, and he is close by. This would be a 3v2. We've also seen Jez is making his way down the backside there. Is it going to be enough? Svenskeren taken so low. The hook being thrown out doesn't find his target. Enrated's going to have to get away from this one. Forgiven does get himself one kill. Coming around the backside, it will be. Jez is trying to get around there. Will they be able to get the kill on towards Unlimited? Forgiven has finally gone down, but they can't finish him off there. He's going to the tower. Unlimited's going to carry on. True shot barrage comes through. That doesn't find its home either.
Fantastic dodge on the ultimate from Ismail there. But as we just talked about, fight going on top.
Amazing dives in there. Assault battery hasn't been used, but they don't fancy taking Freddy on the turret.
We just mentioned the fact how strong Forgiven was. The gang come in, he actually managed to get a kill on N-Ready, even though it's a 2v3. Jessis came back though, he couldn't get the kill on Forgiven, I mean Unlimited, sorry. But all in all, great play from Copenhagen's bot lane.
Coutard fancying something here. Instead, he takes a face full of spear and not going to get it. And you know what? A Mega Inferno Bomb, which was used, it didn't have the cooldown on it, as I was going to say. If it was available, he could have took 3 members quite low, just got their minds out there. I could see what he was thinking. I could see what he wanted. Didn't quite work out for him, though.
Good move from SK though, picking up the Dragon. It is what they need right now. They are behind in the lanes, in pretty much every lane, and also actually in the jungle, CS-wise. So, the Dragon puts them a little bit back in the game, but they are still behind.
And how much does it play into effect? Because if you think, you cast your mind back just before that play happened, they'd actually just used the culling to wipe the wave and shove them up against the tower. So he had, what, a wave of minions alongside him. Does that weigh into your mindset at all as a support or an AD carrier when you're going to pull the trigger to go? The fact that there is a full wave of minions there?
Not too much. In this case, I mean, for Enrated, he didn't really have a chance to wait because Svensson was there, he was ready to go, and he could do the flash flay because Forgiven was in range for it. But the scary part for SK is, without his ultimate, Forgiven still managed to pick up a kill on Enrated, even in a 2v3.
Well, we are back towards this bottom lane. We do see Ziggs backing off in the mid lane as well. Youngbuck versus Freddy in this top. It's been back and forth action. Every single bit of lane has so far seen a little bit of action. Svenskeren once again kind of coming in. Dragon Descent used on towards Youngbuck. Taken very low already, and Freddy maybe feeling can tank this turret, but the Q does not land again from Svenskeren.
Nice dodge right here for Youngbuck. Again, Svenskeren actually fell behind now. Missed Tippers coming in, sadly. But Svenskeren actually fell behind in XP now compared to Vi. He had a good start, but he hasn't been able to keep it up.
Well, we're waiting for Amazing. He's watching this pink ward go down and seemingly helpless, but he's just waiting to set up, keeping Youngbuck safe. He's in that tri-bush. He's going to have Svenskeren in his face any moment now. Ward goes down, and they realize Amazing is there, so I don't think that's going to stop them pushing on for that one.
Great bait from Youngbuck, though. He stayed at the tower, even though he was low. He wanted Svenskeren to dive in because Amazing was there. But clever ward from Svenskeren. He doesn't face check anything.
So looking towards this mid lane, both mid laners gone with that. Athenes and Holy Grail want to get that cooldown, keep that mana regen going. Both absolutely. It's almost become the standard item for mid laners these days.
Yeah, Fiends really gives you everything you need. You want the mana regen, and you want the cooldown reduction, and you want the magic resist versus each other, and at the same time, it gives you a good bonus AP in the start. So Fiends is definitely the go-to item, and I actually probably expect both of the mid laners to now go for a death cap.
Well, right now we do see that the red buff is actually being stolen away by Freddy. Freddy's going to get on towards it. And while this is happening, he's losing out on that top lane tower, but he is stealing away from Amazing. Amazing is about to come around and go, well, goddamn, my blue's gone.
This is actually a very smart play by SK. No blue buff for Kautar right now. It gives Jessis some breathing room and some chance to actually get back in the lane once he picks up his own blue buff.
Well, stun is available for Unlimited, but there's not really anyone available for him to go to. Maybe they could go on towards the tower. Flash, Tibbers, will it come out there? No flash available. Tibbers was, stun comes through, and he's just not even going to land the bomb.
Candy Panda, though, is very far behind in items right now. We have the Bloodthirster complete on Unlimited. He's going towards the Last Whisper now, while Candy Panda hasn't finished his 24 yet. If they should break out a fight, Forgiven will do a lot more damage than Candy Panda at this point.
Looking towards those top laners, of course, there is the magical level 10, the switch to Shyvana from Renekton. We'll see how that power changes hands. They've both gone very similar builds, of course, Sunfire Cape being picked up by both, but it's actually a double Doran's Blade by Freddy. But that mid lane, honestly, there was not a great deal happening there. Kautar has caught the kick from Svenskeren, but he's not going to get League Syndrome and follow up on it.
Just great call by Copenhagen Wolves right here. They've been poking out. So actually a fight top lane. Tank versus tank, not the most exciting fight always. But the mid lane call right here for Copenhagen Wolves. Kautar has been able to push the tower pretty much from the entire, since level 2, and it's just a matter of time before it went down.
Well, they keep on rubbing up against each other in the top lane. We are seeing Svenskeren making his way back up yet again to try and help out in this top. Freddy up against Youngbuck. The two tanks just keep on butting heads, but not a great deal coming from this one. What I do want to draw your attention to is this CS gap that started to appear between Forgiven and Candy Panda. 149 to 116 now in favor of Copenhagen Wolves.
It is no doubt Youngbuck is way behind enemy. Oh no, sorry, Freddy is way behind enemy lines, but no pressure again. Tank versus tank, we just talked about it. Not much is going to happen 1v1, but the bot lane, again, we talked about it was the fact that he could go back, he could buy the early BF sword together, where Candy Panda could only buy a Phage. Huge advantage for Forgiven right there, and he just kept pushing it and kept playing aggressive.
Svenskeren in the jungle of the Wolves right now, taking away the Wolves from the Wolves, and they have already taken away that red buff. That's going to be a flash tip as on towards Jez. Quickly, Nukebot coming in there. Nukeduck's not going to be joining this fight, not anytime soon, I'm afraid. It was actually the Mega Inferno Bomb, which is technically a nuke, which is what I was after.
Nice engage though.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay. No hard feelings. Great engage coming in though from Unlimited. He tried to go for the kill. Sadly for him, it is very hard to kill Nidalee.
It is very hard to kill Nidalee, but it's not so hard for Forgiven, or is it? Because the barrier bait is going to come out, but he's not going to pick up the kill. And Candy Panda just at the range, out of range, of the tower.
Great hook from N-Rated right here. Starts the engage, he goes in for the dive, and then he flashes out so he doesn't die to the tower. Beautiful play by SK, beautiful play by N-Rated. And this is what Candy Panda needs. He can now come back and finish his 24s.
They're going aggressive in the top lane once again, but it's not going to work out for them. It's the bottom lane we take a peek at, and it was Svenskeren that landed the kick once again. They keep stacking up, double teaming on Youngbuck, but it's just not working out. He just tanks them every time.
I feel like right now Svenskeren is using too much time in the top lane. He can't really do too much at this point. He should maybe focus on trying to shut down Kautar or try and help the bot lane.
Well, it is going to be a run towards the Dragon. That's where the Copenhagen Wolves are going, but SK Gaming seem a little bit short on this one and don't think they have the timer at all.
Now, the only vision SK had right here was a pink ward spotting him go towards the Dragon, but it's way too late for him to react. They might actually come in and try a fight if Jessis can land a good spear.
Yeah, not going to happen. Too late. Amazing smites that one out, no problem at all. Without any problems. Mega Inferno Bomb being used for the wave clear, because that means that Countard will be backing away as Svenskeren. Well, he thinks he's caught Amazing, but Amazing's just tracking around. SK Gaming going to try and stack up for this mid lane turret.
Sadly, there's no way for them to push because it was just cleared out by Six. This is what Six can do. We've seen him do it time and time again. He throws the bombs to the side lanes simply to clear the wave and stop the push.
And then he stopped it dead in its tracks. We see it is Candy Panda heading back down south, trying to keep it up in terms of farm against Forgiven. Forgiven himself got that Bloodthirster a while ago. Looks like he's going for the Last Whisper, the Legolas build.
The Legolas build, invented by Taps actually last season. Yep. But right now, let's look at the items once again. Candy Panda got the Trinity Force completed. He's now pickaxe versus pickaxe, but Forgiven is going to get the Last Whisper. But first, it won't really matter too much if SK can just delay the fight right now and just wait for Candy Panda to catch up.
What do we think of Freddy? He's not going for the Spirit Visage. Instead, he's got himself the Vampiric Scepter in there. So is he feeling that I'm tanky enough already, I need a little bit of damage to start beating up on Youngbuck?
I think SK just wants to try and split push as much as possible, and they want Freddy now to build his Blade of the Rune King, and then he can really 1v1 Renekton and force him out of the lane, maybe even 1v2.
Well, Amazing stepping up on towards Freddy. He's gone a little bit too deep. Gets the nudge in there. Assault Battery is available. He's also got Ziggs coming around. Kautar going to throw out a couple of those bombs, but instead they choose not to go too deep on this one, which does surprise me. Instead, they want to protect the blue.
So here's my idea for the game plan for SK. Freddy will split push pretty much all the game long, while Jessis and the rest of the SK will try and poke around the mid lane, and we might see an engage come bot.
Engage, that's going to be a flash tippers on towards N-Rated. He tries to put the box down. Is it going to be enough damage? He's escaped here. They thought they might get him, but the culling, can he get a victim? No, of course it can't.
Good guy, Tibbers decided to walk away from N-Rated. It didn't kill him. Nice play by SK here, but also nice play by Copenhagen Wolves. They can force the bot tower and fight again.
They've gone deep, and Youngbuck with Dominus pops in. Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't really find his target. Dragon Descent from Freddy may well be enough. Youngbuck taken so low, but they don't get the kick. Svenskeren's going to get dropped down. It is going to be Kautar throwing out, but he's got no mana left. They're going to continue chasing. Freddy, can he get a kill? Everyone is so low. Will he get anything from it? No, Kautar just bounces away, throws out the mine and walks off. They got the turret in the bottom as well. It's all going the Wolves' way.
Such an even fight though. Everyone was so low. The Mega Inferno Bomb actually missed everyone right here. Had it hit, they would have been able to take down Svenskeren at least, and it would have been even bigger win for Copenhagen Wolves.
Big wins all around. Of course, they traded the blue buffs as well. Now, you saw that SK Gaming did manage to finally pick that one up, but immediately it was Forgiven taking the blue buff down the bottom there, and he gets back in time to clear out the wave that Jessis was trying to shove on that mid turret. So every time they try and get one of those outer turrets, it's not working. It's 3-0 right now for the Wolves.
The lane where SK needs to get out of turret is the top lane. They're going to need Freddy to constantly push that lane, top lane down and try and get the turret. At the same time, they need Jessis to keep landing spears in the mid lane, and in the end try and force Copenhagen Wolves to recall and then try and take the turret. But against the 6, we saw it yesterday, it is very hard to push.
Well, Bilgewater list now completed by Freddy. He really wants to try and keep that split push going, but again, you see Youngbuck shoving up on that tower, going to get himself a couple of free hits before he backs away from Freddy. Doesn't really want to duel him now that they're both at level 13. Actually, tell a lie, Youngbuck's still only at level 12. He's going to step away, and again, look at this, Svenskeren closing the gap. Let's check out this replay. This was the crazy fight at top.
Notice, the middle infernal one actually hit Jessis, but Svenskeren goes back in. He's the Sonic Wave. He cannot follow up. He has no flash. I'm so close, man. Nobody dies in this. It's actually amazing. Jessis could chase it potentially, but Kauta knocks himself away beautifully. Everything stops.
Everything stops dead, and look at that. They both have to turn around instantly. Youngbuck taking low in this bottom. Svenskeren coming around, but amazing again is in the tri-bush. He's got Youngbuck's back every time he comes around there. Meanwhile, the mid lane, we are seeing once again Jessis trying his desperately to shove up, but of course Kautard is right back in there, throws out those mines, no problem at clearing waves.
Copenhagen Wolves want to delay this top tower dying as much as possible. Once the tower actually goes down, Freddy will have a lot more room to make plays and a lot more room to push. So right now, priority for Copenhagen Wolves, as the dragon is not up yet, is simply just make sure the top tower won't die before the dragon spawns.
So let's start talking about this bottom lane. Actually, tell a lie, because Forgiven is about to back up. I was about to say, now that Trinity Force is completed along with that pickaxe, there's surely a power swing in favor of Candy Panda, but I got a feeling we're about to see the last Whisper completed for Forgiven.
Forgiven actually had to stay in lane right here, and Svenskeren is down there. They might be able to set up a kill.
They may go for a kill. You see Quick Talisman being popped there, and Rate is going to be the focus, but it's not going to get the kill. And instead, Unlimited's going to get taken down. It's Svenskeren that gets in, gets the kill, lands the kick, gets on towards Forgiven, but the rest of his team not on the same page. Has to use the kick to back him away. The culling landing all over Svenskeren's back, but again, does nothing.
Great play though by SK right here. Unlimited actually was the one who engaged the fight, but Svenskeren was there, and he managed to go in, get the kill, actually give the kill to Candy Panda on Unlimited.
Well, the wave once again being cleared out in that mid by Kautard. No problem there. Like you mentioned, he is the Anivia, the new Anivia. It just comes in, clears the waves, no problem with those mines. Youngbuck getting himself some free time on the top lane because, well, he's actually clearing out. Because look at Freddy. Freddy's just between those towers, way deep on the behind enemy lines.
Freddy wants to force Amazing or either Kautard, Amazing, or Unlimited to move up. We do go into the replay right here though. Unlimited actually engages the fight, but Svenskeren is there, out of vision for them, goes in. Great play right here. Candy Panda can pick up the kill very safely. Actually, Svenskeren picks up the kill. Never mind.
He does. He manages to steal it away and then just gives a quick kick to Forgiven. And Copenhagen Wolves with full dragon control. Again, this will be the third one of the game for those.
Good play here by Copenhagen Wolves. They don't take the bait of Freddy pushing between the towers. Freddy wanted to force one or two members to come and try and stop him. Meanwhile, SK could then pick up the dragon. But Copenhagen Wolves completely ignores him and just goes straight for the dragon.
Youngbuck returning towards that top lane just to protect it now that he has the time to. Jessis hasn't really been able to make any impact whatsoever in that mid lane on Nidalee yet.
Not having too much impact, but it was expected. 6 beats him very hard in lane. Now the tower went down. SK has the advantage now split push-wise with Freddy, and Copenhagen Wolves will have to send multiple people to kill him.
So if 6 beats him very hard in lane, why would you pick the Nidalee into it?
Simply because they had the Shyvana and they wanted to do the split push here, and then they want to siege with Nidalee in a different lane. And once Copenhagen Wolves sends up multiple people to stop Youngbuck, they want to be able to either dive or force the remaining Copenhagen Wolves members to back off from the turret and pick it up for free.
Well, it is SK Gaming on the invade here. They have 4 members in the top half of the jungle around the blue, not landing that death sentence on Youngbuck, not even close in fact. Meanwhile, we do see Candy Panda having to get back up there. They are pinging on towards Kautard in that mid lane, so they're wondering whether they could close in around him. It is all focusing on this top though. Unlimited has been creating the play so far. No flash available for that Tibbers though.
Copenhagen Wolves is ahead, but it's right now actually SK being the offensive part. They have, due to Freddy being so far up in the top lane, they can actually move safely in and try and take this blue buff. There might be a fight though. Nope. Sunshine smites us away. Beautiful play.
Now they have to try and close out their own blue buff, because remember, it was Forgiven that actually stole it away last time around. It has just spawned. We'll see whether they rotate towards it.
They will rotate now. Copenhagen Wolves will not try and follow. They're too far away. Kautard was recalled. There was no chance they could actually contest the enemy blue now. Great play by SK. They're really working the map right now.
Yeah, first tower down for them as well in that top lane. So, Jessis will be getting himself blue buff, or will he? Mega Inferno Bombs coming in. Not going to quite be enough to steal it away.
Almost taking it down. This does mean though that Jessis has a long way back to the mid lane. Copenhagen Wolves decide to not push it though.
They're going to charge straight towards that top. Will they try and push on for the tower? No, they won't. They're just going to back off.
Interesting enough, though, Forgiven actually decided to go for Infinity Edge because he had saved up so much gold instead of going for the Last Whisper. It will most likely be his next item, though.
Well, we do see a little bit of farm from Unlimited in the top lane. He's finally getting himself a little bit of action. And looking at the two supports, you can see 20 CS to 7. So they're actually letting Unlimited have some farm on Annie.
They're letting him have some farm. We can see it also in the items that he's actually quite far ahead. He has his talisman. It is very good for the team, very good for the hard engages. Oh, who coming in?
Hook on Amazing, not the one they wanted, and instead Amazing is actually going to chase on through. Throws down the assault battery on towards N-Rated. He's going to get focused down. He gets dropped easily, but Forgiven took a lot of damage out. I think it was a spear that maybe landed on him, and that's going to cause Copenhagen Wolves to step away.
But this is the last thing SK Gaming want. They don't want to straight up fight 5v5 or 4v5 or 4v4. They just want to poke, split push, and siege turrets. Great engage coming in from Amazing though. This is what the Vi can do, and this is what the Vi will do all game.
They're going to be pushing the bottom. They've taken the turret down there. It was Freddy that's done the job and continuing that split push. He talked about the fact that he was going that Blade of the Rune King. He's now got it completed, and they are completing this split push, and it seems to be working for SK so far.
It seems to be working, but Illumin can actually engage right here.
Oh, they're going to engage on Svenska, and he can safeguard away because, well, Lee Sin is a slippery sucker. And alongside Nidalee, they have a very mobile team with the Ezreal to boot. So at the moment, it is all about Freddy. They have to put all their eggs in that Freddy basket down the bottom.
And Freddy is winning 1v1 pretty hard. He's pressuring Youngbuck constantly. Amazing might even be moving down here. No, he is not. Which means Freddy can just keep pressuring and pressuring and pressuring.
Middle lane turret, top lane turret has gone down. That was Copenhagen Wolves minions pushing that one down. But look at this Freddy really putting the pressure on Youngbuck. No dominance available for him, by the way, here. So if he just keeps on getting pushed on, he's got no escape, no flash, no ignite, no nothing.
Kautar will actually have to ultimate on the bot lane to stop the push from Freddy. Youngbuck will not be able to do anything.
Yeah, and that's Winkin causing a 4v1 in this mid lane. And how do we match these 4v1s up? Because obviously Forgiven was doing great early on. Copenhagen Wolves, they had a great start. They were 4-2 up. But it seems that SK are actually starting to claw everything back.
Whenever Amazing has his ultimate, he can actually engage the 4v4 fight, and Copenhagen Wolves will be stronger.
Oh, you can see Svenska getting caught out there. Candy Panda singled out, takes the stun. Flash Tibbers catches 3 members. That's going to be Candy Panda in all sorts of trouble. Assault battery. He's not going to get away, or is he? The heal comes out from Jezz and just about keeps him alive. And wow, SK Gaming disengage amazingly.
The heal from Jezz saved Candy Panda. Great engage coming in here from Copenhagen Wolves though. They used the talisman into a Tibbers on 3 people, followed up by 6 ultimate. Great engage by Copenhagen Wolves. We just touched on it. They are stronger 4v4.
Well, it was a great flash Tibbers, but they're going to have to wait a while for that to be back available. Freddy's going to interrupt Amazing just before he goes back here. Whoop! On towards you. Dragon Descent. Is he going to have enough to take him down? You bet your life he is. There's no way Amazing can get away from this one. Oh, can he? Kautar comes in. The Ignite running. It is going to save his bacon.
Amazing save from Kautar. And Candy Panda does not have his ultimate, so he cannot try and snipe Amazing. Kautar with the save. Beautiful.
Beautiful stuff. Candy Panda up in that top lane, of course, trying to get that farm, trying to keep up the farm with Forgiven. Forgiven still got that 30 CS lead on him. The mid laners, Kautar, he's got that giant CS wave, of course, that he's been picking up. And that's, well, you know, as Ziggs, you just throw the mines down, throw those Mega Inferno bombs out. You're going to keep that farm going for days. We are seeing Freddy backing off here if he's allowed to by Youngbuck. No, he's going to turn and fight him instead.
Got to fight him, but Freddy has a lot of gold. It's going to be very easy to see what he actually buys when he goes back. Dragon is up though in 7 seconds, and Freddy, as you just said, had a lot of gold. He won't be able to back before the Dragon.
Yeah, and I don't think he's realized that Dragon available. This is Copenhagen Wolves got all 3 of them so far. Can SK interrupt it?
SK is coming in late though. The Dragon will go down for Copenhagen Wolves. There might be a fight, but SK can also just back out.
Well, there's no flash Tibbers available, but Tibbers is up. Are they going to find the right target? Youngbuck so far being targeted. The actually Mega Inferno Bomb will catch on Jezz. Jezz goes down. Candy Panda in trouble. Takes the lantern. Will he get out of it? You can see the box going thrown down there. Svenska comes around the backside. He takes down Kautar. Svenska doing a number on them as well around the side. So it's actually a 2-for-1. It's currently to the Copenhagen Wolves, and Rated trying to run for it. The stun will be up on Youngbuck in a moment. He was locked down and Rated, but the rest of the team already giving up on this one, and they're taking their advantages. So Copenhagen Wolves, let's recap, got a 2-for-1 and the Dragon.
Mistake by SK right here. They do not want to fight straight up 5v5. They didn't even land any poke before they went in, and the Dragon was already gone. This actually can signal Nashor for Copenhagen Wolves.
Well, it's dangerous play because Freddy's coming back here. They've still got Candy Panda up as well, so he's going to get around the side, and they're not that healthy, honestly. But if they lock on towards Candy Panda, oh, look at that quick burst comes down there. Hook on towards Youngbuck, not really the one they wanted, but Freddy gets in. Unlimited taken low.
Oh,
he gets dropped.
beast.
Now he's going to be forgiven. They go for Candy Panda's in all sorts of trouble. He's going to get locked up. Then Rate is trying to do a job. It's forgiven. They have to lock on towards. Freddy is a beast, but can he 2v1? Well, maybe he can, because he's going to lock on towards Youngbuck. He's going to try and slice dice. The Dragon Descent comes across. He's going to lock on towards Youngbuck. He's got the help coming around, and that's going to be Kautal. Stops them in their tracks. It stopped the Baron, but it was another 2 for 2.
Freddy versus the world. He almost manages to take down 2 more people. He can steal a blue buff now. You mentioned yourself, he stopped the Nash. Second time, he almost gets it with his ultimate, though.
He got it. I think he got it. I'm
Did he
pretty sure,
actually
yeah.
get it?
If we can see him.
Nope.
Where did it go?
Freddy,
It's
nope,
on
Svenskeren.
towards Svenskeren. He came in. What a scumbag. Stole it away. So, let's recap. Let's have a look at how things are going. It's actually pretty close, and this is the big fight on Dragon.
Here we see the fight. There's barely any poke on Copenhagen before they go in. Vi now can lock down Nidalee, and in the ultimate of 6 they can simply burst her down and kill her. Freddy and Svenskeren does an amazing job though of killing Kautal in the backline, but at this point it doesn't really matter. They are too far behind in the team fight, and they Forgiven can clear them.
Svenskeren just wanted someone to safeguard to. That's all he wanted, but nobody showed for him there, so he wasn't able to escape. Let's have a look at some of the items. It's pretty close still. It's only a 3,000, close to 4,000 gold advantage for the Wolves. And of course, that is down to all the dragons that they have been picking up, 4 of them now. And in terms of gold, you can see across them, the top lane of Freddy is obviously the savior for SK Gaming right now. Mid lane, well, it's 1,000 gold difference. Jungle, very much even between those two. 80 carries is not a bigger gap as I would have thought so. Forgiven only around about 1,000 gold ahead.
Bit surprised about Freddy actually picking up the Spirit Visage. This could signal that SK wants to try and teamfight a bit more, rely on hitting some poke and then trying and engage. But SK don't really have too much hard engage. They actually need Svenskeren to land a Sonic Wave and then go in and kick someone back into the face of them, or in ready to land a hook.
Well, don't forget those spears as well from Jez's are going to start really doing some serious damage. Youngbuck gets hooked in. Have they got enough? No, they haven't. He just walks away from that one. Not really the member they wanted, but it does force the Copenhagen Wolves to think again and step away.
It's good poke though from SK Gaming. This is what they want. Constantly poke, poke, poke. If Enrated actually had went for the newly founded by Pumandu CDR build on Fresh, he would have about 5 seconds cooldown on his hook, and he could just keep landing hooks and then into a spear from Jessis. He might actually go for it later in the game once he gets enough cooldown production though.
The Age Legion has been completed by Enrated, so we'll see how that plays into their favor, as it is Randian's Omen all round for Copenhagen Wolves with amazing Ang Youngbuck going full tank trying to get in there, and that honestly seems to be the difference. It's why they can't seem to burst down the walls, whereas the Wolves, of course, once they land that Ziggs bomb, does incredible amounts of damage to SK.
Now, Amazing just wants to get out of this lane. Youngbuck comes in, but there's nothing he can do against Freddy.
No, he's got Dominus available, he's got Flash, Ignite, everything, but Freddy is just chomping him down, and he's realizing he's having to back off. The rest of SK, the problem is, though, that while he's doing that, while he's doing a great job of split pushing, the rest of SK are not really creating any grounds.
They can't really create too much because they need the Copenhagen Wolves to back out, and at the same time they actually need, great speed coming in. This is what they need. But they have to be very careful they don't come too close, because if Copenhagen Wolves engages 4v4, Copenhagen Wolves will win it.
Freddy getting stunned up and taking some tower damage there, but the rest of SK do get on, get a couple of hits. Now they have to back away. Svenskeren will safeguard. Amazing goes very deep on this one. That's going to be a great tip as Mega Inferno Bomb comes on. Jesus is going to get locked up. He's going to get taken down by the Youngbuck, and that is a good turnaround from the Wolves, and they're going to continue pursuing. They can run straight up the mid lane.
And this is what happens when SK gets too close to the turret. This is why they were scared to hit the turret before, but because of you, they went in and started hitting the turret, and what happens? Copenhagen Wolves engages and win the fight.
Damn it, it's all my fault. Oh, True Shot Barrage doesn't quite snipe out Unlimited. They take themselves an inner turret. Are they going to go too far, though? They know that Freddy is not with them because Youngbuck is keeping them busy. They only have Enrated doing defensive duties. Candy Panda comes around the side, tries to snipe out Unlimited, not going to land it. Inhibitor turret goes down.
And Candy Panda tried to snipe instead of recoiling and trying to come back and try and defend the turret. He didn't pick up the kill, and instead Copenhagen Wolves get the inhib now, and things are looking very bad for SK Gaming.
Can they catch anyone on the exit? No, it doesn't seem so. And Freddy, while he may well be doing the damage, doing the tanking, when you're not in the fight, it's not going to help, and it's SK Gaming that lose their first inhibitor.
Now, situation for SK Gaming is very hard, especially due to the fact that Copenhagen Wolves has so much engage. This means SK actually has to either split up in more lanes, or they just need Freddy to kill Youngbuck 1v1 bot lane, so Copenhagen Wolves have to send someone else. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen anytime soon though.
Well, Freddy continuing to fight with Youngbuck. He's actually just taking the super minions. He wasn't really caring about Youngbuck. Youngbuck was just taking the damage from the burning agony. Burnout.
Burnout. Now, what SK can try and do, they can maybe steal this dragon away. It would help them get a little bit back in the game. Otherwise, what they can do is group 5, defend the turret, and then try and land as much poke as possible, and then try and engage instantly as a spear land from Jesses. This is very hard to do though, and it would actually have required Enrated to go a different build on Fresh.
Yeah, and while, of course, we're talking about level 17s, level 16s, that dragon's actually worth a lot of money now.
Yeah, Dragon right now is worth a lot of money. I think it's about 300 gold to each member on the team, and some bonus XP to your lowest level members. So getting the Dragon for SK right here is actually a huge thing.
So that was their first one. They are 4-1 down against the Copenhagen Wolves. Maybe the blue buff this time around will be going to Kautad. He's been kind of without it for a while. He's been trying to steal it away with that Mega Inferno Bomb. Or will he? Let's see if Svenska and Fancy's trying to come in for the steal instead. Amazing does come in, maybe trying to force it. Amazing had to smite it.
And that is great for SK. They force Copenhagen Wolves to put the blue buff on the jungle. And Candy Panda is pushing mid lane.
Yeah, Candy Panda putting a lot of damage on here. Now he needs to escape. He's going to have that Arcane Shift, and the Lantern quickly zips away, but he got a good bunch of damage on that mid lane, despite the fact it's up against super minions.
Now, interesting enough, Copenhagen Wolves need to just start pushing down the lane, and then if they find an opportunity, they can actually dive. Youngbuck can tank the turret, Amazing can tank the turret, and they have so much engage and damage.
Blue buff for Jezzes. That means those spears will be coming a little more often and a little harder, because they're going to come around the side. This time it seems that SK have grouped up as a 5 now. They realize we need to 5-man. We need Freddy in these engagements.
They realized they can't really stay 4v4 anymore. It didn't work for them before, because every time they got too close, they would simply end up dying. And now with the inhib down, there's so much pressure on the mid lane.
Yep.
But Copenhagen Wolves are playing it very slow right now. They have the advantage, they have the better combo in the 5v5. I'm not sure why they're delaying.
Well, they are being brute forced back, it seems, once again. And that spear, even against Youngbuck, is going to do some damage, because he's already up to a 4-item build on Nidalee. And once those spears start getting up to those 6 items, not quite landing, not quite finding his target. But look at this. Freddy's gone down the bottom, and Copenhagen Wolves are thinking, right, let's go for it. They are missing their main member. We're going to go straight in for him.
Now, Baron Nashor is up again. It might be the focus for Copenhagen Wolves if we see them ward up around the whole jungle, but they rotate top lane now. They can potentially get a lot of damage on this tower before SK can move up there.
Well, the kick landing on Kautad, not going to follow through on that one, Svenska, and the rest of SK Gaming a little slow to react to this one. And Copenhagen Wolves see if they're going to try and brute force the way in. They've got a siege minion in there, so they may try and go for it. They need to get some buying time in here, but Youngbuck's going to get caught out. Dragon Descent goes in there. Kautad getting focused on, has to jump away with the barrier. Mega Inferno Bomb comes back in there, but it is going to be the Copenhagen Wolves that are taken low. Can they get Youngbuck down? Yes, they can. Nidalee spear lands on towards Unlimited as well, and they're going to continue chasing. Amazing is going to be the next target. Spears will come through. They'll take this one. They could turn on Baron, because that is a 3-4-0 to SK Gaming.
SK win this because Freddy comes in with full HP. He's tanking 3 members of Copenhagen Wolves. Youngbuck, on the other hand, he was down to 50% HP when the fight started. He died before Freddy, which meant that SK could now start rolling over Copenhagen Wolves and win the fight.
Well, it is going to be the Baron potentially here for SK Gaming. It doesn't seem there's too much to stop him. Mega Inferno Bomb is not available. The culling is not available. So SK Gaming will get a Baron and turn this game back on its head. They had a 6,000 gold deficit at one point. It's back to 2.
And this right now, I actually think this is an amazing game. So much back and forth and so much tactic in this. I love it. And I definitely think SK Gaming right here could use a win.
It used to be for SK Gaming, the Candy Panda had to put the team on his back and carry them home to victory. But as it is, the Dragon's Descent started it all.
And notice how much damage Freddy's actually tanking right here. He has 3 members hitting him, even Amazing actually ultimates it, and he won't die. We don't even actually see a spear coming from Jesse's, but as soon as Youngbuck dies, SK Gaming can start rolling over. Amazing goes down as the next target, and when the front line is dead, this is what this meta is about. This is why you need these tanks. Without your front line, you can't really do anything.
And Forgiven actually tanking a spear, that's the word I'm after, and that's actually saving Kautad's life, because it would have built up the range, the distance to do the damage. And with the Dragon up in 1 minute 45, they're not really too worried about that. It's going to be, of course, the Baron buff on SK Gaming. They want to get inner turrets. That middle lane turret was taken low already. Let's see if they push for it.
I have to question the Wit's End build on Forgiven right here instead of a Last Whisper. He has no damage on Freddy right now. Once Freddy finishes his Randuin's Omen, we are literally going to see an unkillable Shyvana.
Well, their middle lane turret is going to get taken down. They're actually thinking of going for it. Svenskeren did lock on towards Youngbuck there. Didn't choose to kick him in towards there. They're going to rotate around that bottom lane turret. Remember, that's already taken a good beating from Freddy, so that will go down very quickly. And that's actually going to even up the gold between these two teams.
They could actually just have went straight in for the tower right here. They don't necessarily need the minions, but Copenhagen Wolves is so far away that they might actually be able to get at least some damage on it. But I think maybe they should just have gone in and try and face tank with 5 people.
I think they just wanted to try and bait it. Mega Inferno Bomb being used to try and throw it out. Those spears coming across the side. This is dangerous territory for the Copenhagen Wolves. If they get caught out here and taken down, it could be game.
SK Gaming has taken full control of this. While Six is able to clear the wave, Nidalee is able to land the spears on your champions, get them so low that they have to go back, and Candy Panda can go in and hit the tower. And right now he's doing a lot of tower damage. Also, Dragon is actually coming up in 30 seconds. If SK picks this one up, they're going to extend their goal lead.
They rotate him back around, and SK Gaming with that gold lead now is just going to keep on pushing further. With this Baron buff running, they've got around just about 70 seconds left on this Baron buff. Just to maybe a little bit over, and like you say, that Dragon will be up in 13 seconds. They're going to know the timer, but it's all about the turrets they want. They're going to try and push, try and force the middle inhibitor defense, while the rest of the team go and try and take down this top inner turret.
And I feel like we're going to be in for a very long game, because now we have seen how much Six can do. If SK can pick down this turret, though, it would be very good for them, because all the outer turrets are now gone.
Well, it's 6-6 apiece now. All the turrets, 10-10 in kills. You could not get a closer game if you wanted it between these two budding new LCS teams. I say budding new ones. Kautar taking a good spear there because SK Gaming effectively are a new team. Completely different lineup, barring Candy Panda coming into the spring 2014 season.
But it's a new lineup that has really stepped up this game. Jesus has been playing absolutely amazing. Once we got out of the laning phase on this Nidalee, he just lands the spears all the time.
Well, they're going to try and push in. Can they get... Oh, Youngbuck taken so low here. That's the main tank driving away from the tower. Will they try and go for this one? Amazing has to take one of those turret hits as well. Spear hits, sorry. It's more than a turret hit, to be honest, when that lands there. I'm surprised Freddy isn't actually tanking some of the turret hits here.
I think they're a bit scared of the hard engage, especially now with flash tippers from Annie. If they should get too close now, the Baron buff is also running out, so we might see SK back out. They can go and get a Dragon right now, and then go back and shop.
Yeah, they're already heading back there. In fact, the True Shot Barrage is being used to spot whether it's still up. So that shows that there's a lack of timing, I feel, in SK Gaming, because that's been up for about a minute now.
And SK Gaming actually took the last Dragon as well, so it's a bit weird.
That's a worry.
But this is a very hectic game right now, and there's a lot of things going on, a lot of talk going on, and I'm sure NRED is very busy dealing out the shot calls right now.
Well, that is a 2,000 gold lead now built up by SK Gaming. This is all because of that fight in the top lane as Copenhagen Wolves pushed on the top turret, just led into getting that Baron. And now Copenhagen Wolves are on the defensive. SK Gaming, they're all going to go back and buy, and let's see what they've been on a shopping spree.
Notice that SK Gaming has 3 Banshee's Veils. Why cannot hard engage on you, or Annie cannot hard engage on you with the Banshee's Veil up? This is a very smart pickup, especially considering it's on Nidalee and it's on as well. Actually, there's 4 because NRED just picked the one up as well.
So they are all about making sure they don't get caught out by that flash tibbers. And actually, it makes sense because they got caught by it so many times at the start by Unlimited. It does make perfect sense. And Freddy has been leading the charge, 105, unkillable so far, and he's just continuing to get stronger as this game develops. Those spears, well, once that Zhonya's Hourglass gets picked up, is going to be absolutely destroying the likes of Kautar. We already saw it taking 2/3 of his health off. It could well be close to a one-shot kill.
We're getting closer. Once he finishes his Hourglass, he's going to be even harder to deal with. If they should actually get an engage on him, he's going to Hourglass, and instantly as he comes out, his jump is back off from cooldown, and he can actually jump out of the fight and try and kite and throw back some spears. MVP for me, though, this game, I have to say it, Freddy has been amazing.
Freddy has been amazing. This time Svenskeren's the one doing the split push, though. He's trying to drive that top lane down while the spears keep coming through there. Youngbuck has got a lot of hit points, 4k in fact, and you can see it's around about 1,000 hit points just tanking off him. That means if that hits Kautar so far, it will strip a good half his health off.
Forgiven haven't finished. Oh, he just finished his last whip right now. He will have a lot of damage now, even on Freddy. So the next team fight is going to be very interesting to see which frontline dies first.
Well, Kautar course, as we mentioned, has got that effectively the Anivia. And, well, we've already seen what Anivias can do in these siege situations. They can hold you off for days, and still, none of those inhibitor turrets going down. None of those inhibitors going down. Spears coming in from the side. Copenhagen Wolves are chasing this one with a talisman. They get the flash onto Candy Panna. Not a great deal of damage, though. And Copenhagen Wolves may turn this one back around. SK Gaming trying to get the damage back on towards Youngblood. Freddy has to flash out of it. Youngblood goes down to the True Shot Barrage. Now they're going to turn back on towards the Wolves. It is going to be Unlimited running for his life with Candy Panna chasing. Gets the stun down on him. Tibbers, why are you not using your R to press on towards him? Svenska, though, he's going to get taken down for Forgiven, and Freddy has to run away again. Candy Panda does take down Unlimited. It's a 2-for-1, and SK, despite being engaged upon, come out on top.
Copenhagen Wolves blows all the engage on Candy Panda, but there's no follow-up damage. He manages to jump out of the fight, and instead they turn to Youngbuck and they take him down. Svenskan does overextend a little bit afterwards and gives a kill for Forgiven, but on the other hand, Candy Panda manages to pick up a kill on Unlimited. Again, great teamfight by SK Gaming, and great splitting actually. Candy Panda waited away from the team just when the engage was about to come, and Copenhagen Wolves thought, we want to get him no matter what, and they didn't hit anyone else.
Yeah, and the problem is because they went for Candy Panda, because they threw everything at him, Jesus was actually already on the side, so he just went, I'm just going to heal you, buddy, and you're going to be fine. I'm going to continue throwing the spears in perfect harmony. He had no worries whatsoever, so it was all in for Candy Panda, and you can see it right here. Everything was thrown at him.
Notice Candy Panda's position when he gets engaged on. Instead now they can turn it around, Candy Panda is safe, and he can start dealing out damage right there. Kills Youngbuck. This is actually where SK Gaming has won the fight. They don't need to chase now. They decide to stay though, to try and get a kill on Forgiven for no reason. Freddy's too low, he wants to recall, but Svenskan decides to stay. Big mistake though.
Yeah, it actually drew him in, and I don't think Freddy was given too many kind words for that one. Baron being picked up, though, by the Copenhagen Wolves, why that was happening. And now we're going to get into the action, because what the hell just happened?
How on earth did they just pick up a free Baron 47 minutes into the game with everyone alive?
Well, it was happening in the bottom corner of your screen, which is frankly unbelievable. And like you say, how did that just happen? Because they had a 4-on-3.
There must be ninjas. They sneaked in there, took the Baron, nobody saw anything.
No, the ninjas didn't make it.
Really? Again? You already did it once.
Oh, I gotta keep this going. Don't worry, you got a whole season potentially of this to go. We'll see how it works out for you though, buddy. Unlimited's gonna come in and run there. He's gonna pop that Banshee's Veil towards Svenskaren, and it is gonna be the Copenhagen Wolves pushing up for this free inhibitor in the mid lane. Candy Panda was on the top, and now he's just recalled.
Svenskan and Freddy coming in mid from the side. They don't really want to fight this. There is a Baron on Copenhagen Wolves. Bit of a mistake from SK here. Give up a free inhib. There was really no challenge for it. They didn't even try and poke because Candy Panda was left in the top lane and recalled too late. I can see you smiling because you joked before.
Tickled myself with that one. I gotta be honest. It is going to be the Copenhagen Wolves. Will we see a return though? Because this is the situation that managed to just put themselves in dire troubles. Will SK Gaming be able to equalize it? True Shot Barrage rattles on through. That minion wave is not going to last too long once Freddy hits that W.
But look at the lack of wave clear from SK Gaming. Once the True Shot Barrage was gone, they actually don't really have much left to wave clear, meaning Copenhagen Wolves can pick up the tower and engage.
The Assault and Battery was used, but it didn't really do a great deal. They took the tower down nevertheless, and that's going to be the 7th tower of the game for the Wolves, and they keep on poking in there. Those spears not finding their targets just yet.
They do have all the Banshees right now though, so it's very hard for Copenhagen Wolves to actually engage. But why do you need to engage if you can just pick up the tower for free? Copenhagen Wolves will just keep pressuring right now and force SK to make the move.
Well, Copenhagen Wolves thinking of pushing in for this one. There's a lot of damage going down already. Not to Svenskaren and Freddy taking some damage. Candy Panda stripping off almost half his health. The culling comes out, doesn't really do much but clear the wave, and they continue pushing on. Those spears on amazing and not doing a great deal.
And this is one of the reasons that Lucian is such a great AD carry. Svenskan cannot jump on him and try and kick him into the team because he has his dash and not his flash right now, but he will probably have for the fight. So SK Gaming actually has to engage with a hook from Enrated.
As we approach the 50-minute mark, we may see the final engage. It is going to be Count. Amazing they throw through there. Svenskaren taken solo. Ziggs bomb turns and does a great deal of damage there. Freddy's going to be forced out to back away from this one. The inhibitor turret's going to go down. Candy Panda trying to do what he can to duel them out there, but he's forced away as well. And Copenhagen Wolves take down the second inhibitor of the game.
Forgiven and Kautat are melting Svenskan right here. As soon as he goes in, they just instantly turn around him. You can imagine the call going, Svensson, 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 or Lee Sin, and they just instantly burst him down when he jumps in.
Well, the Wolves have to back away. There's a giant wave pushing down the bottom lane, and I feel that may well be what SK Gaming's going to use to try and keep them at bay. Youngbuck actually may catch on towards Jez's. They have managed to go back there, and Limited's actually the one that's gone back. He's got himself a Ryla's Crystal Staff as a support.
Ryla's on Annie. I've actually not seen that in a long time, but he just wants to provide more utility, he wants to provide more CC, and if he can manage to slow down Freddy when he's chasing his own AD carry, maybe he can help.
Well, with that Baron buff, it seems the Copenhagen Wolves certainly did the damage they needed to. With 2 inhibitors down, can SK Gaming come back from this one? Remember, there is still only 1,000 gold between these two teams, or well, 1,700 gold if you want to get pedantic about it. But that really seems to be the situation that SK Gaming, they were using Freddy to split push, keep that power down, and you can see at 447 and counting minions. He's certainly done that, but it doesn't seem to be working anymore.
While the gold is pretty even, the combo in the straight fight is not. 6 at this point is dealing out so much damage. Even his passive scales with AP, meaning that late game he actually has 5 abilities dealing damage.
Well, the Wolves are stacking 5-man along the bottom, and SK Gaming prepared for this one. Everybody backing off. They're going to have to keep those super minions at bay a little bit longer. But SK Gaming are about to have 5 hungry wolves knocking on the door.
Now, again, we talked about this before. SK needs to land some good spears, and then they need to land a clutch hook from N-rated and go in and try and burst down the first target they can. Forgiven has no defensive items. He even sold his boots right now, so he could be potentially the target they want to go for.
Only 3 members of SK currently defending this bottom turret. Freddy has to come around and leave those super minions. Super minions on the top lane as well. Nexus turrets are going to be in perilous danger if this continues, and that's why Copenhagen Wolves want to try and siege this for as long as they can.
Now Candy Panda is forced to go back and defend, meaning Copenhagen Wolves can go in every time there's a few minions, get a few hits on the turret, and potentially take it down in the end.
That is going to be a turret being picked up, going down. That was a Nexus turret, by the way, that went down just towards the top there. Candy Panda's doing what he can to keep them at bay, but there is a turret respawn inhibitor in the middle. That means the top one will be coming back up soon. We do see the Wolves backing off here. SK are going to get a respite, a small one, before the Baron.
Youngbuck took too much poke. They didn't want to fight. We saw them fight top lane before when he was poked down, and it didn't go too well for them. Though, we just saw the new super minions in action. They're doing a lot of damage to the turrets, and they're buffing all the minions around them with 70% more damage.
Well, SK Gaming coming in, trying to get the wards down on that Baron. It's a minute and a half away, and I feel this is going to be the final standing point. The final countdown is on, and it's a minute.
So, right now, SK Gaming has to give the Nashor to Copenhagen Wolves. They cannot go out in an open field and fight them. Copenhagen Wolves, on the other hand, don't need to wait for Nashor. They can just go straight up mid lane and go for this inhib and just go straight in and engage whenever they see an opportunity.
That is what they're doing. Youngbuck just backing away from that spear. Max range to it, almost catching him. Everybody glistening with potions. Copenhagen Wolves showing their signal of this ascent here. They don't want to go for the Baron. They want to go straight in for this inhibitor, and they may well be able to get it and gain. It's amazing running interference in the top. Freddy taking a beating here. Svenskeren getting on towards Amazing. The culling coming out, but he's not really doing a great deal once again. Youngbuck trying to get in their faces. The spear's not finding the targets. This time it does hit on Unlimited, and Copenhagen Wolves back away. Candy Panda goes really aggressive, but he managed to arcane shift straight into a Ziggs bomb.
Nobody really wanted to engage right here. They were just poking the front line of each other. Nobody decided to go in. Nobody actually saw the right opportunity. They did manage to pop all the Banshees from SK Gaming though, so they had the chance to go in, but Candy Panda and Jesse's were too far back.
Top inhibitors just respawn. That means SK Gaming will have a slight safe passage. They have to deal with the last super minions in that top wave, which is where they're going to go. I think it's going to be Svenskeren maybe going to go up there. Baron spawns. The second they go for it, they're going to come in. Will SK challenge?
SK has the ward on it. They know this is happening. Will they try and steal a fight? They're going for a fight.
Svenskeren went in early. He gets the smite. He gets the smite. True Shot Barrage comes across. Unlimited taking low. Ignites one. Gets on towards him. Freddy 1-2-2 doing the damage. Mega Inferno Bomb comes in. Gets flashed away from. Amazing's going to get focused down. It's a double kill for Freddy. They're going to catch on towards the next one. It will be Forgiven going down. The top inhibitor will be taken down by minions, but they don't give a toss about that because Kautar's in trouble. He's going to get focused down. Now they're going to back away. They can finish the game. It's 60-second death timers. SK, though, have to defend.
But they're recoiling. They're actually going to go back to defend the base. Kautar will die right here. SK Gaming could have tried. Will they go for the finish though? We see Nidalee and Eswell actually going in, at least take down an inhib.
Super minions on towards the final Nexus turret. They have to have someone to deal with it. Svenskeren's going to go back. That Nexus turret's going to go down before they get back there. You can see how much damage he's doing. They're going to get the inhibitor turret down. They're on the Nexus now. I think Svenskeren should have enough to defend this one.
Freddy's helping.
Freddy is on there, and they're going to see Candy Panda, Jesus. They will take an inhibitor down, but I don't think they can follow. They got 20 seconds.
They have 20 seconds. They can actually finish this game. Jesus is going to do a lot of damage. I mean, Candy Panda's going to do a lot of damage on this turret. Will SK be able to finish the game and get their first win? Amazing team by Nasia. I didn't even think they were going to go for it. SK Gaming will win this game.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff. SK Gaming finally get themselves a victory. And wow, what absolute epic style. It was a 55-minute game. 17-12, nearly 100,000 gold between both teams as well. Incredible, incredible turnaround. We knew it was all about that Baron fight, but goddamn, what a smite from Svenskeren.
What a smite from Svenskeren. And also, Copenhagen Wolves, after they got poked down, actually went for the Nashor. They were so kind of low when they went in, and SK Gaming just got in and they just took full advantage of it and won the team fight. Beautiful play, and it's good to see the relief on their face.
Absolutely, and you know, getting our first victory, nobody likes to see a team losing all their games, and now, correct me if I'm wrong, it's only Alliance that have not picked up a victory in the LCS.
Only Alliance hasn't picked up a victory. I think it's gonna come though. I'm not gonna say this week, but at least next week. I have full trust in Alliance. But let's talk about these teams instead, especially SK Gaming. Impressive comeback they do. They were in a position where they couldn't actually push the 4v4 mid lane because they would get engaged on. They relied 100% on Freddy, just keep pushing on Youngbuck down in the bot lane. And once they actually got the chance to teamfight top, they did it absolutely perfectly. They got Youngbuck down and then they rolled over Copenhagen Wolves and managed to actually get back in the game at that point.
I think I might just take your pulse because I think you may well need a doctor or something. Something's going on here. He's pretty excited about this game because what a finish that was. Let's take us through. Let's slow it down a moment and let's go back to the start because the start lanes, it seemed to be all about the Copenhagen Wolves. They had dragon control. They picked up, what, 5, 6 dragons throughout that game. The Baron mess up just threw them completely. Freddy 1-2-2 being a superstar for SK Gaming.
So Freddy was a huge issue for them. But overall, Copenhagen Wolves had this game in the bag. This was their game to lose. They had the better fights, and if they hadn't gone up top lane, stayed top lane even though Youngbuck was getting low and low and low from poke, they would not have lost that fight and probably not have lost the game. But kudos to SK. They saw the opportunity to fight and they went for it. Freddy came in from the side in that fight and he manages to just tank everything Copenhagen Wolves had.
What a fantastic start. And honestly, SK Gaming, we love to see teams picking up wins here. And it's going to mean a lot to them, of course, but what sort of pressure? I mean, how much of a relief will that be now going into, obviously, day 3, the fact that they've got that first win under their belt?
I mean, this is everything for them right now. Sure, they were only down 0-2 overall. It's not too much. We're still in the first week. But getting this first win shows to you also that, you know, you deserve to be here. You're good enough to be here because you can win games. And even games like these, which are so hard for you to win at the moment, like if you look at what happened in the game, they still managed to pull it out and win. It's a huge confidence boost. And it shows to them now, next time they are behind, they can still believe and try and come back.
Yeah, and if you look at the 10 games they actually lost, even against the, obviously, Millennium Game 1, that went 51 minutes. They were hanging on there. They could have had something just like that turn around on them. The Ziggs bombs, we saw how much damage it can do at that stage. Up against Fnatic, well, you know, they lost that one, but they don't need to take too much to heart from that because Fnatic are looking incredible right now.
Yeah, to be fair, Gambit lost also to Fnatic really hard. They've been looking pretty good otherwise. So I don't think we should take too much from the Fnatic SK game. But the SK Millennium one, they had a few issues in the early game, but I think more that was due to Millennium playing the early game very, very smart and setting up a lot of kills for Curb, or at least a lot of opportunities for Curb to get kills, which kind of made the whole SK fall behind. And at the same time, the Jerry Creaton combo did beat Candy Panda and rated.
Absolutely. Fantastic game 4 here between the Copenhagen Wolves and SK Gaming. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, it is going to be Shox and Quickshot. They're going to be talking with Candy Panda from SK Gaming. I think he might well be a little bit pumped for that one. And after, of course, it will be Roccat up against Millennium. Grab a snack. We'll be back in 3.5.
We are back and joined by Candy Panda from SK in that hard-fought win, that comeback win over the Copenhagen Wolves, and the first win for SK Gaming, the new SK Gaming in this LCS. That game was so incredibly back and forth. Just tell me from your side of the story of the game, where you knew you had the upper hand.
So first of first of all, I have to say that like after the first 2 games, we were kind of down, but I think we knew we had the potential to win the game. Like in scrims, it was always like kind of 50-50 if we win or lose. But after the first games, we weren't so sure. But like we still knew we could win. So for this game, we like took a different approach to win it and play more aggressive. That was our plan. So that's how we won.
Talk to me about the different approach. Who makes the decision for that? Whose call was it to say, look, let's go a little bit more aggressive, let's pick some more fights? Because let's be honest, it didn't work early on. You guys were behind, you struggled a little bit, and it felt like the Ziggs bombs coming down from Copenhagen Wolves and Coutard made your life very difficult.
So yeah, first of all, like Ziggs is always hard to create something. But after the Fnatic game, like we sat down and we talked about what happened. And it was basically like, we didn't create any like opportunity for us to do something. So we said to ourselves, like, just try to create something.
Whose job was...
And they're like, oh, get away. So you can just do whatever you want as an AD carry, and it's not hard to play that kind of team fight.
Not hard to play that kind of team fight. Easy. No, yeah.
Next question is just very quickly. You guys got the Baron off that one. It then got drawn out still for another sort of 10 or 12 minutes back and forth. What was it that extended the game as well? What was it that kept the game still so close and you were trading kills and blows and gold the whole time?
Yeah, so after we got the Nasher, we took all 3 outer turrets. We tried to get control of their jungle for the next Nasher. But then we didn't lose the fight in mid, but we got 3 for 2. But then we just kind of went away from Nash and they just took it, so that
was where you fail flashed and hit the wall and then had to arcane shift into the river. Not that I've seen that or anything.
Right.
Yeah, but to be fair, you did have people diving on you. Yeah. It was an immediate tibbers.
It's a little mean. Now, actually, what I also wanted to ask you is this is one win, but that doesn't mean that the problems that were there beforehand were eliminated. And we noticed that you're kind of looking for new things. You said creating new things, as here, very sieging, a poke comp. What do you think is the main thing that you have to work on, maybe a specific lane or?
We have to improve on a lot of things. Like, there's nothing you could specifically point out. Like, we're still a young team. There's like the spring split. It still means something, but it's like more for preparation for the summer split. That's where it really counts. So we're just trying to like get the most out of it this season, like get the best place we can, and yeah, just improve as much as we can. Like as I said, there's nothing specifically you can point out.
I've got a question about that training regime. How do you improve as a team? How do you, in Candy Panda's mind, step back, look at SK as a whole, and say, these are the things we need to do? And don't say scrims. I'm not letting you answer that way. You know, what specific things do you need to work on, and how?
So like, if you want to prepare for a match, or like prepare for LCS, tournament, whatever, first of all, you have to play solo queue for the individual skill. So you're good on lane, so you can actually like do something with your advantage. Then you have to scrim. I know you said I don't want to say it, but you have to scrim. That's the reality. Then you also have to prepare, like look up what the enemy plays. Like you can look at the enemy jungler, see what paths he take, and see like you can think, why does he do that? And then you can like see. So like you know his timings when he comes bottom, when he comes top, whatever.
But I tell you what, I'll make this easier for that. I hope you guys win some more, because I would like to ask you again, when you scrim, how do you focus on specific things? So start practicing a response for me, all right?
Okay, I will do it.
All right, well, thank you very much, Candy Panda. Congratulations. First victory for SK Gaming in the European LCS here. And now let's send it over to D-Man and Officio for our next game.